correction. And the text is best translated by the idea of give them instruction on how to live and correction when they go astray. Now, you can't beat kids anymore. Okay, I'm just using language that was around when I was growing up. How many of y'all heard the word beat when you were growing up? You know, yeah, I got a beating. I get no whipping. I got a beating. Parents would beat you down and then tell you to shut up, don't cry. Dry them tears. You're just as sore as you can be. Can't beat them anymore. Can't whip them. The language of the text implies that you begin this at an early age. When you wait, if you wait until they're 8, or 10, or 12, or 14, 16, or 18, too late. Ship done sailed. Can't catch that boat. We have to nurture our children. And the Greek word that is used for nurture denotes the whole range of education, moral, spiritual, personal, academic. It means that in an early age, before the die is cast, you begin to train them the way that they should go, how to care for their health, how to care for their finances, how to care for their personal well-being, teaching our young girls how to take care of them little bodies they got. You know, these little girls that grow up fast. Some of them look like they are you know, like they're 18 and they're just 12. So you don't have to dress them up like they're 18 because they got the body of an 18-year-old. They got the mind of a 12-year-old. Got to teach them how to take care of themselves, how to do their personal hygiene, how to take care of their hair, how to put their makeup on. When it's time. My youngest, you know, I love my grandchildren. They're different as night and day. My youngest granddaughter, you know, she likes makeup. And I said, no, baby, wait a minute, baby. You can't put that on. You're just 10. But I want to know, baby, wait a minute. You just hold up. Slow your roll. Look at Judges chapter 2, verses 10 through 12. This passage tells us what happens when Joshua and the elders with him died. And you know, Joshua was the guy who followed Moses. When their generation had passed from the scene, the next generation came along and did not know the Lord. This is what the passage says. And it says this, and I'm reading from the King James. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers. And there arose another generation after them who knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served Balaam. And they forsook the Lord, the God of their fathers, and brought them out of the land of Egypt, who followed other gods of the people who were around them, and bowed themselves unto them and provoked the Lord to anger. You know, here you have a classic example of one generation failing to tell the next generation how God brought them out. Joshua in his generation, they knew all of the mighty acts of God. Joshua was the one guy who connected them to the Exodus. And yet, somehow or another, they failed to transmit the faith to the next generation of youth. You know, and as a result, they grew up not knowing their history with the Lord. They didn't know anything about God. And so when you look at how they ended up in the mess that they ended up in a few years later, it was all because they forgot their history.